We must stop the terror. Now watch this drive.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Glad you're here with us. Enjoying your time as always. Upcoming stand-up dates this weekend. Why does this sound so muffly? Is this... Check. There we go. Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, glad you're here with us today. Upcoming stand-up dates this weekend, September 6th, Edmonton, Alberta. At the end of the month, September 26th, Comox, British Columbia. September 27th, Victoria, British Columbia. October 5th, Chicago with Brian Holtzman. October 12th, Fort St. John. October 25th, Red Deer, Alberta. October 26th, Wetaskiwin, Alberta. November 1st and 2nd in Fort Worth, Texas. November 3rd in San Antonio. November 7th in Fox Creek, Alberta. November 8th in Peace River. November 9th in Grand Prairie, Alberta. November 16th in Toronto, Ontario. November 17th in Niagara Falls with Brian Holtzman. November 22nd in Medicine Hat. December 13th, finally hitting Thunder Bay. December 19th in Oxnard, California. December 31st in Castle Gar for the New Year's extravaganza. And currently, last on the list, Slave Lake, Alberta, January 24th. Tickets available at dangercatshop.com to support the show if you want to buy your boy a beer. You know, if you want to buy your boy a beer and support the show, head on over to patreon.com/dangercat69. Exclusive episodes. I'm trying to get ahead here. It's been a slack summer, enjoyable summer. It has been a wonderful time. Patreon.com/dangercat69 to support the show. Major sponsorships breathing down our neck, but we're not going to fall for that. We're not going to be one of these corporate shills unless they're going to hand us money, in which they're not right now. So I have to beg you to head on over to the Patreon to support the show at patreon.com/dangercat69. All links are in the description down below, along with social medias to follow. Woo! And if you're watching on YouTube, please comment, like, and subscribe there. If you're listening to any audio apps, please give a review on there. We would appreciate that. It helps us boost in the algorithm. I don't do that enough. I have to get over this idea that self-promotion is somehow narcissistic in some way, shape, or form. You have to be that. You know, a lot of these guys that are successful have no problem promoting their stuff, and where I feel like I'm a bit of a dork by doing it. And meanwhile, here we are in the entertainment business and reluctant to promote oneself. You know, even with some of the takes that we have, they're meant to be retarded. That's it. Many folks come to the show and take it literal. And I become concerned about the state of the nation on taking a guy like myself serious. I don't understand how we got to this point. Even with the recent video that I just threw out there of the Islamic prayer music being played outside of safe injection sites, harm reduction sites, if you want the political correct version of that, right? And some folks thought it was real. Now that, to me, is beautiful because I enjoy just putting out nonsense at this point, you know, getting over the fact of, or getting over whatever it is inside me that warrants some form of validation through my opinions. It's slowly dissipating. Will it be completely removed? Absolutely not, because we sit on a podcast and give political commentary, social commentary, pop culture commentary. The list goes on. So the need to get my opinions expressed just come in long form content now, opposed to, ranting and raving, oh, fuck out, we see this happening. One gentleman there hops on. I had a riot watching this, by the way. This is exactly how hold on. This is exactly what I enjoy. Now, to give you a little context prior to showing this video, is Trudeau had a tense exchange with a Algoma steel worker in Ontario. Many folks are a little upset at the Prime Minister due to the overall feelings about how the country is being ran. And many of us, like myself, can't form what we want to express in an acute, gift-wrapped idea. In any, this is where the intellects and the high snobriety of Canada look down upon these men that go to these steel mills for work, and they work inside this type of environment. But the opening scene is what really got me. Trudeau shows up with a box full of donuts for everybody. The classic, like, the boss is in town move. Donuts. That's what these mouth breathers, they forget about everything. Once you put just a glazed donut in front of a blue collar worker, the idea of that they are pissed off still is completely gone. That's what a dress shirt does. I don't know what it is. Is it the polyester that rubs off and erodes a little bit of the brain? Like, are you not conscious of like how these men operate? That donuts will make them forget of all their problems. One savory little baked treat is what is going to win these folks over. Now, thankfully, it looks like he went and purchased donuts from an actual bakery and supported local. I'll give him that. If that is the case, I'm analyzing the donut here. All right, well, let's take a look together. I'm analyzing the donut here, and one gentleman, right, who should not be eating donuts, like this is one of those treats that the wife cannot know about. She's concerned about diabetes, high blood pressure, all of this. Health concerns of a blue-collar worker don't exist. Look at the many men who have sacrificed their lives inside of a steel mill or any form of laboring that doesn't involve sitting in front of a computer desk. Most of them have disregarded any health concerns that they've had over the past, since their birth. Since their birth. Health, not a concern. That's why showing up with donuts is a morale boost. That's what showing up with donuts will do. You forget about the concerns you have about the economy once you sink your teeth into an apple fritter. Are you really worried about the war in Palestine? Once you sink your teeth into a Boston cream donut, are you really that concerned about the tax dollars being sent to the Ukraine to further a war with Russia? No, you're not. And that's what more politicians need to realize. We don't care to hear you speak. Show up with the donuts and some free coffee. Even though there's coffee in the lunchroom, This right here is a good example of a great politician. Showing up, listening to the concerns. Now this guy, let's get into this guy. The opening shot just amazes me with this. This guy right here, shoveling the donut in his face. Zero concern that the prime minister is there. There's sprinkles to be had. I haven't sunk my teeth into a donut in about 14 hours since my last shift. When management came down and said that the prime minister is going to be here, we need you all to sign this piece of paper that states you're not going to act a little suspect around him. We need the leader of this country to feel comfortable. So yesterday they brought in a box of donuts so that way the gents could feel good. This is a feel-good mission. And this guy is showing exactly why folks need to show up to site or to the plant with donuts. Zero concern. Does this man look like he's upset about the immigration problem that's happening in Canada? Not even in the slightest. Not even in the slightest. Nothing like a savory treat to remove any sort of concern that you have about the state of the nation. It's amazing. It's amazing what icing and donut and fucking carbs will do to the brain. There's got to be scientific data behind this. I know I'm being a sarcastic asshole right now, but I just found it hilarious that the opening 3 seconds of this clip is a steel worker shoveling down a sprinkled donut down his throat, only to be followed with the exchange between one of the iron workers and the prime minister. There is 2 types of people existing in this video. There's those that are following the rules right now, and then this guy standing out there with his lunchbox being like, I got some shit I got to say, and we're going to get it off our chest right here, right now, with this son of a bitch in front of me. Now let's carry on, folks. We got donuts over here to thank you for your hard work. We got the donuts. Oh, what is going on here? We got the donuts over here to thank you for your hard work and sacrifice in this steel mill. Couple of these guys, they're like, whatever, don't care. The prime minister's here. Do they look like these two don't look overly concerned. Now this is where it gets fun. This is where it gets fun.
The 25 cent tariff is brought in from Chinese steel.
That's been my job. What about the 40% tax in Spain? And I don't have a doctor.
The $400 million.
The 40% taxes I have. And now there is rumors floating around on X, formerly known as Twitter, as the media would say, that this guy is part of a media group. That this man is a plant. This man right here is up to no good, all for the clicks. And it would make sense. See, now if that did make, we're going to listen, actually, let's listen to this first, and then we're going to give our commentary on it.
I think you're only here for a year. You'll see around probably
I look forward to everyone exercising the right to vote. Basic choice. We're going to invest in you in your job.
I don't get for a second.
Dental care. You know anyone like dental care?
Yeah, I pay for it myself.
Okay.
We're like 3 years behind. Yeah, we're 15 months. Every time we go for a dental visit, it's always about $50 in pocket per person. Why? I have a good job. You're not really doing anything for us, Justin.
Actually, we just invest in
Probably like my favorite that doesn't work because she's lazy.
Oh, yes, my favorite argument. My favorite type of exchange right there. two condescending pricks face off towards one another. That's my type of content, folks. This is what I wake up for, hoping that more of this takes place. And we finally got something, you know, two idiots facing off. It's like if you gave two foam swords to two guys with cerebral palsy to have a sword fight. You know, it's going to be entertaining. You shouldn't watch it, but you can't take your eyes off of it, right? You don't want to laugh. You don't want to laugh because that would be rude. I just wish that folks would understand what they're actually truly pissed off about. And I get it. This guy's trying to squeeze in as much as he possibly can. And I'm not about to go old full lib on you here and be like, oh yeah, fucking steelworkers. Not a chance. The only thing that chaps my ass is that it does come out and this guy is part of a media company. I can't remember the name. And this just seems to turn into a publicity stunt of some sort, just to get a rise out of the public. And this is why I appreciate the American theatrics opposed to the Canadian one, because this is we've seen Canadian film, Canadian TV series. It's underproduced. There's no real drama here. This is just two guys in what I would call a polite exchange. Nobody raised their voices. It was just condescending. It's this passive aggressive type dialogue that you're kind of interested in, but not overly. There's nothing to push it over the top. Now, if there would have been some cussing and maybe some raised voices, nothing to the extent of violence. We don't need to be pushing and shoving and all that. We just need some more. We need some theatrics. And this is why the Canadian entertainment industry is failing. Because this guy had an opportunity to really capture what most of the Canadian public is feeling. He's part of a media group, allegedly. Okay? Allegedly. And he left a lot of emotion to explore. That is what is upsetting to me. Where on the American side of political theatrics, we would see some more expressive language here. Not this passive aggressive pussy, I'm tiptoeing the line and be like, oh yeah, well I pay $50 for my fucking dentist, man. Get into it. Let's see some verbal exchange. And then it was like, they couldn't direct the conversation in a way where both of them could come with talking points where he's like, well, what about the dental plan? Well, yeah, well, I already pay $50 fucking every time I go. Well, what about? Let's stop. We need more of us to be in tune with that inner theater kid ready to take the stage of an improv act. We need more of that. This is why Canadian politics is so it's not interesting whatsoever. This is what gets us going. Is just a small exchange. A lot of people, oh yeah, that guy really told him. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You remember that fucking guy in Grand Prairie that went off on Chrystia Freeland? There's some raw emotion. That was good. You fucking bitch, get out of here. That's what we want to hear. That sparks a little viral moment for Canadians to be like divided on. This, not so much. This, not so much, because then it led into a debate of like, well, if he's paying 40% tax, that means he's in this. Hold on. We want the theatrics. We want the theatrics. When the hell has anybody cared about facts? Nobody's cared about facts in a long time. And now we want to start throwing them around. When have we cared about facts? It's the feelings that matter. And I'm feeling a little upset that this wasn't a moment in Canadian history that we could look back. You had the perfect opportunity. You're surrounded by folks that are in hard hats. You got everything was there. You had the steel worker shoveling a donut in his face because it was free that day and he's not going to pass up on a nice sugary treat. And what did you do? You blew an opportunity to make this something special for the Canadian public. Really divide us. Come prepared. Read your notes. It's a disgrace. And then we have the audacity to sit back and be like, oh, yeah, the country's so divided. Over what? This is what I'm supposed to be upset about? Now, something that really gets me going, something that should be covered is a story like this. BC conservative candidate who posted about 5G genocide ousted. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go deep in the waters. Let's go deeper. Why is this woman not being celebrated? Why? This is what we ask for. This is what I want politicians doing. I'm tired of these stupid debates, I'm tired. Well, in our province, healthcare fucking enough. Here we go. BC conservative candidate who posted about 5G genocide ousted. Rachel Weber, baby. A BC conservative candidate was accused of spreading conspiracy theories on social media, including a genocide involving 5G wireless towers, has been ousted by her party. Rachel Weber announced her departure from the Conservatives in a Facebook post Monday, confirming she has been replaced with another candidate in Prince George Mackenzie riding. Despite these challenges, my commitment to the values that brought me to this point remains unshaken, Weber wrote. I'm seriously considering running as an independent. More on this will come soon if I decide to run. It's unclear who will be replacing her on the ballot. CTV News reached out to the party for more information. Weber's departure comes after BC United leader Kevin Falcon announced he was withdrawing his candidates from the October election and throwing his support behind John Rustad's Conservatives. Both leaders agreed to a joint screening process that could see candidates from either party representing the Conservatives on the ballot next month, with Falcon telling reporters Rustad's vetting process has not been as rigorous as BC United's. Is that why you're leading in the polls, Mr. Kevin Falcon? See, this is where the theatrics of politics becomes fun. We need somebody like Miss Rachel that is in politics. We need a divisive figure in there talking about conspiracy theories, don't we? About how 5G towers are the reason your kids are turning trans or whatever the reason is behind it. We all know that every fucking day corporations are sinking their money into something that will just plummet the overall health of Canadians into the ground, and that's North Americans as well. The water is poisoned. They're finally starting to talk about fluoride in the water in legacy media, for Christ's sakes. And I know, this is conspiracy theory. It's good for your teeth. Enough with that shit. This is fun. This is something that people can get behind. This sparks debate. This is exactly what needs to be discussed inside the fucking House of Commons or any legislative building across the nation. Make it more fun. Bring donuts. Isn't that what we do? We got to bring more donuts. Let the psychopath in the party. And this is another reason why I'm slow, like my view on politics is changing. And, I'm not no political scientist by any means. I'm slowly learning more about geopolitics and the history of where a lot of this, where we are today and how history is applied to it and similar things that have taken place. And it's quite interesting once you start diving into it, since I've slowed down the drinking, I've been spending a little more time in the books, which I don't know is a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know yet. I'm still trying to solve that in my own crumpled life. Let me get this. Over here chewing gum like an asshole. I didn't even realize I had gum in my mouth before I sat down. I was so focused and ready to get into this. But this is exciting. We need her to come out and start talking about flat Earth. That's what we need. That's what we need. Because that gives something for all of us to start being like scratching our head and be like, okay, so you literally don't need a brain at all to enter politics. And I'm not saying that there isn't some concerns that should surround 5G towers. I'm not saying that, obviously frequencies fuck with us. It's been studied. We know this. Plenty of reports that have come out stating that frequencies do have the ability to change mood, there's a lot surrounding it. And her having a concern about it should be taken serious, shouldn't it? I mean, this essentially is the opposite of like, we need to start chopping the kids' cocks off. And I don't got kids. I don't have my fucking toes in the water of that debate, but I do like sitting back and giving my own goddamn opinion about it like everybody else on this planet. And I think that you got to accept this as well. If we're going to have politicians also sitting inside of these respected political arenas, we also got to have the other side and let the fucking nut jobs scream at one another. Make it fun. That's all we're asking. Get them in the House of Commons to start debating. Like in Congress, wherever, to start debating on how young you should be able to feed kids puberty blockers. Let's hear that. Let's make that a fun debate. Let's divide the country. There's numerous debates that we could start having. Like, why don't we start putting rat poison in the fucking water supply? We already are. Oh, shit. Fooled me. But this is the enjoyable part about politics, is once you start realizing that most of these people are fucking idiots. And if I can sit back here, of all people, can sit back here, kick my feet up, read this, and think to myself, boy, you really don't need anything but just a sliver of influence, which is why now we're starting to see politicians and bureaucrats start coming out and they're acting more as influencers than they are politicians. And that it's more apparent here in Canada than it is in the United States, because I feel like the United States, the politicians still have a little bit of that old school in them where they got to appear that they kind of have their shit together. You want a villain to look like a well-dressed, that they can walk into 5-star restaurants at any time of the day, where up here is Canada has this problem of constantly being enamored with theater and the costume that comes with it. And I'm not saying that the theater is good. In America, the entertainment value that you can get from just a piece of content that folks are producing is enormous. The entertainment industry there is just fascinating. The lengths that they will go to. Look at 9/11. 9/11. Look at the lengths that America will go to entertain you. 9/11. They sat there. The CIA drives up this massive, great fucking plan to fly a couple planes into the building so that way they can invade the Middle East. Is Canada doing that? No. That was all entertainment. All entertainment. And we soaked it in. We bought it. It was great. It was wonderful propaganda to then sell you the idea that we should be invading the Middle East because Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. That's entertaining. But then you shift your focus from America to the Great White North, and we're up in arms because some lady has some concerns about 5G towers. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying here? It's disheartening because we have a lot of free time on our hands. We're not sitting here, having to drum up public support so that way we can go invade anywhere. If Canada said that we were going to invade somewhere like Somalia, the whole world would laugh. They would laugh. They'd be like, with what? You sent everything to the Ukraine. What are you going to go over there with? CCM hockey sticks? And start clubbing these guys over the head like they're fucking baby seals? Is that what you're going to do? What could we do without the support of the United Nations? Practically nothing. We are literally just a money laundering fucking bank account for these war hawks, these chicken hawks. So what I'm saying is let's utilize this free time to make everything a little bit more interesting. Yes, I like the fact that a woman is a little concerned about the 5G towers and starts spreading this type of content on the internet. The process we'll see right here in the article. They have removed her. Okay, that process will see dozens of Conservative and United candidates lose a party endorsement over the coming weeks. Weber came under fire for her years-old social media posts last month, including one that reportedly suggested 5G towers contributed to the spread of COVID-19. That is great. Another post claimed 5G can mess with the absorption of oxygen in the human body, according to an August 20 news release from the BC United. The posts have since been removed. While announcing her departure from the Conservatives on Monday, Weber accused her former party of running under the guise of the name Conservative while allowing BC United to infiltrate its ranks. We need a candidate in this riding who is actually a Conservative and will fight for these communities, not self-seeking opportunistic candidates who will run for whatever party approaches them, she wrote. Another great point. That's why looking at the political climate of British Columbia, it should raise a concern that politicians have they don't care who they're running for. They don't care. Do they? If they did care about the flag that they carry so much, you would think that the BC United is the Liberal Party, and they cross over and join the Conservatives in the fight to try and it's all just one convoluted mess that we're never going to really truly get to the bottom of. These people hop in these positions. They're paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to practically do nothing to enrich Canadians or solve problems that we actually have concerns of. One of the main concerns right now is mass immigration in Canada. And what has happened? They have come out, it has taken a minute. There's been concerns raised about this for quite some time. We've seen this coming down the pipeline. Many folks have spoken out against it, and they were smeared with the brush of being a racist over concerns that we don't have the infrastructure to support the influx of the population that's about to touch ground in Canada. And somehow having concerns about that is racist. Now, I started playing this little game on Twitter, Google, where I would just take any object in your house. You can look around. You can play this as well. It's a fun little game. And we are at the point now where everything is literally racist. And I thought to myself the other night, I was like, oh, you know what? If this is true, because I seen a tweet about that, everything is racist. And I thought to myself, is this true? My investigative journalist that's deeply inside me thought to myself, I got to get to the bottom of this. So what I did is I spun around in my office chair, and then I would point at something. I would just cover my eyes and point at something, and it'd be like, the Google search would be, is blank racist? And I typed in bike lanes for the first one. It was the first thing that came to my mind, are bike lanes. There's no way a bike lane could be racist. And I was corrected. I was corrected. Bike lanes are inherently racist because apparently they only exist really in in more upper class neighborhoods where there is investment in the community. And I thought to myself, well, maybe if they stop stealing the bikes. No. Don't even go there. Don't even think that that's funny, okay? But literally, that was the game I was playing the other night, just to enjoy myself a little bit, and just to have a giggle. What else could possibly be racist? And it turns out everything is. Now, I have a solution for this, okay? For those that do get smeared with this is going to be an unpopular opinion that I usually have, okay? But maybe it will help solve a little bit of this, like, we say racist, that's racist too much, or you're a racist, you're a Nazi. Now, I think I've come up with a plan that could possibly help so we can identify the true racists. Because at this point, like I said, I Googled, are bike lanes racist? And there was a thesis wrote by some asshole saying that they are. So now what I'm saying is, if you're going to slander somebody with these labels, I think it has to be like deeply rooted in truth. Have you caught this person at a rally where they're burning a cross, or doing something that's like deeply seated in racism, okay? And if you're not, I think that we should all carry around those yellow flags that NFL referees have, and you can challenge that. Like a coach's challenge. And you throw it up in the air, you challenge it, and if they're wrong, we take it to a panel, an unbiased panel. And if they're wrong about your opinion being racist, then you get to hit this person in the forehead with a plank. I think that's a great idea. Because maybe the plank will knock some sense into them. You get to release the frustration that is built up inside you of being slandered in such a manner that you may lose your job, you may lose family members. A lot of things can happen with slanderous slanderous bullshit that's being thrown at you. And I think that would help us solve a little bit of the issue of how everything is racist, like I said, many folks did have concerns prior to where it became a popular opinion. What I'm seeing online anyways is now it's becoming a popular thing to be anti-immigration, and it took a minute to get there, but now the overall consensus of the public now is leaning that things aren't going so well. A lot of jobs have been, given to temporary foreign workers. And it doesn't seem to be sustainable with the current Canadian economy. And a lot of people are a lot of people are upset about this, and rightfully so. I think that you should be able to voice concern without having to censor yourself entirely due to the fact that some Looney Tune is going to label you something that you aren't. It's crazy. I found this quite interesting. Now, a lot of ex-journalists that are now resorting to, Twitter or TikTok or whatever media or social media outlet that they can get their news, what they want to report on, out to the public. They don't want to quit what they're doing, and rightfully so. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you have every right within this country to do so. And legacy media is seeing this and now are converting their news to more of a TikTok style. It's not the same production value of what we've seen in the late 2010s anymore. Now we're looking at everything is watered down and simplified and can be done in a fucking room that I'm sitting in. Literally, I created a fake news story with a green screen and the table that is sitting in front of me, and people were duped into believing it's real. So it's not that hard to produce anything anymore, you know? So the hundreds of millions of dollars that are being pumped into these organizations like the Canadian Broadcast Corporation, it seems meaningless at this point. And even the news that they are reporting, this is where the concerns of folks, they're leaning of like, more away from it because it just seems like bullshit to them. And where you see bullshit and you smell bullshit, it's most likely it's a Hindu prayer. Oh, you didn't see that coming. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. That just, it's rooted in me. It's a joke, folks. I'm not here to be an asshole. It was a joke. It's just a goofy little thing to say. But what I'm getting at here is after doing some digging around, and I read the report from Kareem Assad named HateGate, and she did an investigation into the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, and the organization is really it's an NGO that puts their time and effort into covering the far right. Now, what is the far right? We still don't quite know, but it gets thrown around a lot. That term gets thrown around a lot if you are even slightly conservative. You get labeled with far right for not being, you know, whatever it is happening over there, or whatever story or new policy that isn't progressive to the point that we should be allowing mutants into women's bathroom to fucking watch them shave their pussy. I don't know. And apparently you can shave your male pussy inside a women's and if they don't collect the pubes and create a beard inside, no, we're getting too out there in the weeds. None of this, like, this isn't even funny. What are you talking about? That's disgusting. What's wrong with you? But what I found out is that this organization, the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, is then subsidized by the Canadian government, and they are labeled hate experts for some odd reason. I didn't even know that there was experts in hate. And where am I? Why am I not in this committee? Apparently, I'm very good at it. I'm a hater. I don't like a lot of things, in fact. And why am I not on this committee? I'm a hate expert. I believe, like, I hate a lot of fucking things. I do. I truly do. I hate that when I go to the convenience store that there's senior citizens with a stack of lottery tickets just wasting my fucking time. 45 minutes of my goddamn time is dedicated to standing behind this individual just so I can buy a pack of gum, a Gatorade, and get on my merry fucking way, you know? But I politely stand there and I allow this poor, old, elderly woman to rifle through the months of lottery tickets that she's collected in hopes that possibly she won $60 million. Anyways, this organization is subsidized by the Canadian government, and they are labeled hate experts, right? And this is what I find interesting is that Legacy Media in Canada then went to them to get their expert opinion on what's happening in the political climate surrounding the trucker convoy. So now you're using something that is some entity that's already subsidized by the Canadian government, and then you move on to Legacy Media, which is also subsidized by the Canadian government, to then report on Canadian citizens who are paying into both of these programs to essentially lie to the Canadian public and deceive them into thinking that most of these people there are neo-Nazis. So that's the part where I don't understand how CTV, CBC, Global don't get why most of the Canadian public don't find their reporting to be authentic or truthful at this point. Because when the government is funding all of these organizations, and I'm not saying, and even for most of right-leaning media is then they're operating based off donation and subscriptions, which then they have a little bit of they wear their bias on their sleeve, which is kind of nice to know that you're going and the reporting is going to have a slight slant towards whatever political fucking party they're affiliated with. And that's all right. That's fine too, as long as you're understanding of that. Where with this, we have the understanding, and it's very well known that it is propped up from government money, similar to the Canadian Anti-Hate Network. And I believe that this is even like slights at either of these. I just think it should be public knowledge is all. Like, I think these are things that should be discussed constantly, because the faith that the normal person has when they go to these media outlets for the articles that they're writing, obviously there is a bias there, or it's filtered. The stories that are meaningful possibly get thrown out. And then we're led to constant, I guess, the scrutiny and being under the microscope of like, what are they honestly trying to tell us? Where, American media is, it's out of control. Well, yeah, because you know what you're buying into. Obviously, CNN is more of a left-leaning news organization, when Fox News is your right-leaning news organization, and they have an audience that they cater to, and it's entertainment. They all know Fox News or Fox Entertainment. You know that. It is drilled into your head. You know what you're buying into. Now, do a majority of people maybe know that? I don't know. I don't care. But I found that interesting. I just found that interesting that legacy media in Canada cannot quite understand. Maybe they do, and they're just like ignoring it for the sole fact of like, this isn't going away anywhere. This isn't going anywhere fast. Even the folks here's the thing with CBC Comedy as well. And look, I'm never going to be hired by them. I have already came to terms with myself that I am probably never on there. I'm not even a sniff away from being on any of their shows, a part of any of their programs, especially after the last little media cycle that was surrounding us. I'd imagine that I'm not going to be their guy anytime soon. So I can openly talk about this and not fear that I'm going to miss out on opportunity, because I'm never going to get that opportunity anyways. But right now I'm seeing a lot of folks that are upset over this hour has 22 minutes and the comedy that they produce. Now, one thing that, again, this is a subsidized media corporation. Okay, this goes through a lot of fucking people before they produce these sketches. Now, the people being hired by the comics writers, that they're all quite similar. It's a hive mind inside. Like, you can look at the writers, where they graduated from, what they've worked with. They know the game. There's a game to be played here. Whether they believe it or not, it's entirely up to them, and whatever, who cares? Now, to keep that job, obviously, you're going to write shit for the audience that probably watches this hour has 22 minutes. And I assume that they're going to be a little more left-leaning for obvious reasons. So they write comedy for those people. And then you have right-wing leaning people getting pissed off over this comedy. And now, there are plenty of comedians in this country that don't align themselves with the code of conduct that's placed in front of them. With a lot of these theaters, I assume that someone, okay? And I say this because I haven't found any code of conduct or rules or regulations that pertain to the writers on this hour is 22 minutes, okay? And for those that don't know what This Hour Has 22 Minutes is, it's essentially like a late night talk show, spoof sketch show that just can't refrain from making every one of their sketch some sort of gay musical. A lot of musicals happening there, you know, a lot of musicals taking place out there. And there's not, again, hands tied. I'm never going to be there. So what are we doing? I'm never going to be on CBC Gyms. I'm not their flavor. I get that. The CRTC has rules and regulations that they have to abide by on what can be put on Canadian television and radio. And I don't think that they want somebody like me going up there and being like, boy, fags are weird, aren't they? They just ain't going to have, that's 6 million? Huh? You think that's what they want? What if I yell Free Palestine? Free Palestine? More like half off. That should get them out of there. I'm not their flavor. But a lot of right-leaning guys are like upset. This is where my tax dollars are going to. Yes. Yes, they are. What are you going to do about it? See, and this is like, the solution to this is very simple. And I'll keep saying it over and over and over again. The solution to this is very simple. If there's comics that you like and you enjoy and they lean into more of that space that shouldn't be talked about, or, oh, that's racist, then there's an obligation to pump and promote those comics so that way there is a popularity that surrounds them. Because here's one thing that I've noticed is a person like Dave Chappelle can thrive off the controversy because he's popular. He's very popular. Everybody knows who he is. He has a fan base that he's won over 10 times over talking about the subject matter that he does. You know, when the controversy outweighs the popularity, people get a little skittish on whether or not they want to associate with you. Now, if I was sitting with 1.1 million followers on Instagram, YouTube, whatever social media platform, a lot of these places wouldn't have an issue with what we say and what we do because you sell tickets over the course of a weekend. And understandably so, because entertainment is also a money-making business. They don't give a shit what your political affiliation is. And if you do, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? If you're more concerned about the political affiliation of who's ever taken the stage and not more concerned on whether or not they can sell tickets inside your club, I think you're a horrible businessman. At that point, you got to step away from it and scratch your head and possibly sprint off a bridge or make an appointment with the maids program, because that's what this entertainment industry bullshit, all it is. It's just fucking jokes. Punch me in the cock. I'll try and bend you over. You try and bend me over. Let's all walk away with a little bit of scratch in our pockets. And to think that there's some sort of fight that we need to put up with. No, these are just the thoughts and the feelings of an individual that's creating the comedy. That's it. That's it. There's nothing more to it. Okay? Nobody in their right mind should have the idea instilled in their head that you're going to shake and change the world. Enough. Get up on the stage, tell your dumb jokes. That's it. That's, even with looking back and seeing the controversy that surrounded us for that moment of time and seeing the reaction to it. Seeing the reaction. Now, most people that are very outspoken hopped on it because it was an opportunity to virtue signal that they're good people because they want to see us done over. It was a way to destroy something in the name of being righteous. Where I find that the other side, they're just... maybe the nature of the joke or the nature of the shirt even wasn't enough for them to grab a hold and be like, oh, whoa, yeah, I get it. I get it. I totally get it. I understand. But there is a need and want for attention. And I would be a liar if I would be a liar if I said I don't want the attention, because the attention then gets me into a place where, maybe we do a weekend in fucking New York or Austin and we're able to sell tickets. Of course you want that. Of course you want that. As a comic, do you want the arena and fill up Madison Square Garden and all that? That's up to you. Would it feel good? I would imagine it would feel amazing to pack out Radio City in New York. Excuse me for the doubling up there. But here in Canada, we would rather complain rather than prop up those comics and give them the opportunity. There's plenty of people. Like I see so many people right now on Twitter bitching and moaning about CBC's This Hour Has 22 Minutes. When in reality, there are plenty of comedians that are putting out content and touring their act that would align more with you. And you have an opportunity then to push these people and popularize them to the point where they can't be ignored. And if this becomes the new wave of comedy, then those comics, they have a better chance of getting into these festivals because they have the ability to sell tickets. And then at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. Unless like some of these festivals that have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, they're going to pack them out regardless, right? They know that Winnipeg Comedy Festivals this weekend, every year, me and the wife go every year. We get our tickets fucking 3 months before. Yes, of course. But I'm saying that these comics then, if they're popular in Canada, there's an opportunity to possibly go down to the United States and further their career because the ceiling is so low here. It's so low. There's like fucking 9 comedy clubs across the country that are prestigious enough that you would want to perform at. And once you burn your name, well, all of a sudden it becomes a little harder. But I don't think I would choose a different route. I enjoy this route. It seems like a little bit more rewarding. It's taxing for sure mentally, but I feel as if this is the path that I'm on right now is the one that I was meant to be on. And if it's going to be hard, then it's going to make me stronger mentally. It's going to force me to become a better writer, to portray the idea in my head in a more of a comedic fashion. So that way, that this is just jokes. I'm not trying to just be edgy over the top just to garner a reaction from fucking Looney Tunes. What I want is just like people who get it. That's it. People who get that this is just all nonsense. We are just living in a fucking false world. It's just everything around us and what we see and what we believe is a constant lie. That's it. And those people want to just remove the idea of all these things that they're worried about. Taxes. Every day I wake up. You know what? No way you want to be at my show is the guy eating a donut earlier. No problems, no concerns. I'm going to shut my mind off, let these morons take the stage, and hopefully they make me laugh with their dirty minds. And I can just sit back, relax, have a drink, and enjoy myself for an hour and a half. That's it. But instead, we want to be like, I can't believe CBC put out a musical about the fucking trucker convoy. Put out a musical? Put out a musical about the trucker convoy? That's what you're upset about? Sounds gay. Next. A musical. I'm upset about... Who the fuck is upset at a musical? Well, this is what our tax dollars paid for. Yeah, I get that. I would be upset about that as well. But I also heard the word musical and I thought to myself, sounds gay. Is it that hard to understand? Walking around like we fucking... Ugh. I'm tired of like looking at things and getting pissed off about them. So I've been, I search for news stories that seem fun, like a conservative. a conservative politician getting punted because 5G towers are causing a genocide during the COVID-19 bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, that's good. Those are the lunatics that I want talking to me. I have fun conversation with somebody like that. Instead, like, I notice now that I've slowed back the drinking quite a bit. I've slowed it back. In fact, I've pretty much cut it out. It was a friend of mine's wedding over the weekend, and I just had like one beer, and I find myself, it sucks because I'm too inside my head now. I'm thinking too much, which is a good thing, but it turns your mind to sinister thoughts, I feel like, at times, and be like, and kind of slants it more to a negative, where I'm like a pretty fun, positive guy while I'm drinking, where I just can't bring that out of me without some beers. And I'm sitting back and I'm noticing that just normal conversation is just so fucking boring to me. And this isn't a slight to anybody that I was talking with over the weekend or anything like that, but I just find myself, you just have a repetitive conversation over and over and over again. And it just like, you start thinking like, oh, fucking Christ almighty, is this what it was like when I was drunk? Like, is it better to be drunk? And I start questioning my own reality of the situation. Like, am I annoyed because of what? What am I annoyed of? Why am I annoyed? And it's just the inability to like find a good time of being sober. And it's all on me. It's the self-awareness that in that situation is unreal. And I know, heck, how did you get here? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. But I just found that now that I don't hit the piss as hard, it's like on a Saturday night, I'm going home at 11, where before I'd be like, call the guy. We got to see a sunrise. And I'm up at 9:30 in the morning playing golf with my mother. Who am I? What is happening? But I think it's a good thing. I spent the better half of 5 years convincing people that drinking hard and doing fucked up shit is a good thing. And I still believe that. I don't regret anything in my past. I think all of that is a wonderful time. And those that still do it, I envy you, because you're willing to just let that be your fun. Let that, where I'm like, I got this twisted head of mine that's always searching for more information, more satisfaction, where a simple 6-pack and playing a round of golf or just, calling each other, you and your friends getting together, call each other gay for 5 hours, 6 hours before going to a nightclub and striking out with sixes. Who's worse? You know what I mean? Who's worse in that situation? I feel like the one that's able to remove himself from everything, like a guy shoveling donuts into his face while the prime minister's right there in front of him, and he has a perfect opportunity to make this a moment for him. And instead is more concerned about getting his hands on the only strawberry icing donut that's covered in sprinkles. I envy that guy. I do. And with that being said, folks, I'd like to thank you for being here for another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Reminder that if you head on over to patreon.com/dangercat69, extra episodes are there. I'm getting caught up. The summer has been great to me. You guys sticking around on the Patreon, we appreciate that big time. Patreon.com/dangercat69 to support the show, support the podcast, support this nonsense that I'm up to. And we really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And we will see you next week, Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.